last night in the bathrobe section of a Versace outlet.
Not an outlet.
Nick got us a Versace outfit. I was uncomfortable. It was so expensive. A select group of scientists and savants fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to bring you the best segment in all of sports media. It's an honor and a privilege. It's time for Nick's Tears.
Thank you so much, Kevin Wildes. And the committee gave us an early Christmas gift.
Oh, good.
A themed Tears.
Oh!
Now, not every single tier follows the theme, but you'll be able to, you know what, I'll just tell you.
Is there puns?
It's a relationship themed Tears.
Okay,
First, though, off the tiers. Newly eliminated. The New York Jets and the Los Angeles Chargers. That means 9 of the 32 teams have been eliminated. I know you were watching football this weekend and you saw some of these teams in the hunt graphic. They weren't. You know why? Because they were eliminated weeks ago. Those teams are out. Now to the bottom, relegation tier. One, maybe both of these teams could join the eliminated tier.
Yeah.
Raiders playing the Chiefs, the Falcons this weekend. They are both facing elimination. Now we will move on. The one that got away. No, not necessarily your high school sweetheart, just the game you should have won that is going to keep you from making the playoffs. Pittsburgh lost to the Patriots. New Orleans was up 17-0 in the fourth quarter against Green Bay. Green Bay just lost to Tommy Cutlets, and Denver was up 21-3 on Washington. For all of these teams, they're going to get to the end of the year. They're going to be a game out of the postseason and say, that's the one that got away. Down to the wire, Seattle and Minnesota. We're going to be heading into Week 18. There's going to be one playoff spot available. It is going to be between those two teams. And Kevin Wildes, Super Bowl hopes, still alive, possibly resting on Brew's favorite quarterback, Nick Mullins, is back. Wow, what a circumstance. 3 teams, 1, maybe 2 spots. Cincinnati, Houston, and Indy. Personally, I'm interested in all of these teams right now. Legitimately interested in all of them. I want to see how far Browning can keep this going. Now you're going to be playing without Jamar Chase for at least this week or next. The Texans have, to me, been the best story in the NFL this year. DeMeco Ryan should run away with Coach of the Year. And at some point, you hope they get C.J. Stroud back, the scary concussion. And what Shane Steichen has done in Indy with Gardner Minshew, all of it, but at least 1, maybe 2 of those teams are missing the postseason, so they're fighting it out to the end. Ex-girlfriend. So listen, a year ago, you're flying high. Even months ago, things seemed promising. But deep down, you know, you simply can't trust them. Now, at the same time, it's hard to quit them. You loved them at one point in time, but whether it's all the signs are there, whether it's the Prince's inability to play in even a light drizzle, which I really don't quite understand, or Philadelphia's inability to stop anyone, you love them, but you can't trust them. Should have gone to counseling. Yeah, you thought the grass was greener, didn't you, Cleveland? You're like, you know what? I know things have been good, but we can do better. And all of a sudden, you're giving Baker Mayfield his walking papers, and now, years later, you look at him, check his Instagram, he's thriving. He's doing great. He's living on a beach. People love him. You, meanwhile, just total disarray, wondering what could have been if you had only worked through your issues. And let's be honest, there were some. And you think what you could have been had you stayed together. Next, amicable divorce. Listen, you see each other on the holidays. You're like, you know what? I'm glad you're doing so well. We had good times together. Matt Stafford, you're in L.A. Jared Goff, you're in Detroit. There's no hard feelings. There's no bitterness. You both feel good about where you were and where you are now. And both of you right now, from a playoff perspective, I think are actually in a very similar boat. Almost impossible to believe could win the conference, but absolutely could beat anyone you play in the first round of the playoffs and could be a real pain even in the second round of the playoffs. All right, this is a standalone tier for the Buffalo Bills. Roadside fireworks stand. You know it's a bad idea. You know that this could end in arrest, fire, your house burning down, your car exploding, but it's so damn fun. And every year you say, I'm not doing it again. And then all of a sudden you're on a long road trip and you see that sign and it's like 6 miles away. You're like, I can get how many bottle rockets for 80 cents? You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. You know it's not going to end well, but it's so exciting and so fun, you can't stop yourself.
That's
Next.
Not really relationship themed. That was a fireworks theme.
I
said there was a couple.
I said there are some or some are. It's not the whole thing. You take that up with Marshall and the committee. Elite yet underrated. These are top 5 teams, yet we just talk about the things they're not good at. It's a little frustrating, to be honest with you. Dallas Cowboys, are they a perfect team? No. Can you name 4 teams better than them? Of course not. Miami Dolphins, do we look like they are a surefire Super Bowl team? No. But do they have an elite coach, a couple elite defensive players, a quarterback playing the best ball of his life, one of the best receivers we've ever seen, the ability to drop 50 on anybody? Yeah. Yet all we do is pick these teams apart. They have become underrated, even though in today's NFL they are elite teams. All right, final 3. Let's be honest.
Oh, that's nice.
All right, listen. We know, America, you want it to be Baltimore's year. You want Lamar to have the moment. And a lot of us feel like it would be really nice when the whole NFL could have tried to sign him and everyone's like, no, I want Desmond Ridder, if he then goes to the Super Bowl and really sticks it to him. But deep down, you also know this. For all the talk of the Chiefs' flaws, if we wake up after the wild card round of the playoffs and there is a team that has lost their first playoff game at home, deep down, which one do you think is more likely? Kansas City or Baltimore?
True.
And if we wake up the morning of the AFC Championship game and all of your net worth were on the line, it's like, just pick a winner. Who are you going to trust? Guys, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We know what it is. And then last but not least, ready to talk dynasty?
Wow.
No, I mean, listen, guys, we know the coach is great. We know they have the best skill position players in football. We know the defense is number 1. I have now been told, beaten over the head with, they have not a good quarterback, not a great quarterback, but the MVP at quarterback. And oh yeah, by the way, he makes less money in a year than Brew makes in a month. In that case, you know what that's the recipe for? A dynasty. So I don't know if it's going to be Wooden's Bruins. I don't know which dynasty it's going to be, Russell Celtics. But I'm ready to talk it. You guys have convinced me. There are the tiers for Week 16.
Wow. You couldn't just give them love.
Why not? Why not? They got the MVP at quarterback. They got everything else.
I absolutely love the tiers.
Thank
and I love your humility that you put Kansas City not on the top, but one tier down.
It's a full committee.
Right.
Yes.
Not just
it's the full committee.
Yeah.
But I would take umbrage with the committee where they have the Lions right now. And I might want to switch a particular team out for the Lions in the second tier.
The Chiefs and the Lions?
Well, I mean, let's do something that you guys do on this show all the time. Let's have a blind comparison.
Reveal.
Blind review. Okay, because you guys do this all the time. Okay, one quarterback quarterback's 95, the other's 10-4. They both have about the same completion percentage. One has a couple more yards per game than the other. Touchdown interception ratio is better. The quarterback rating is better. Yeah, one is Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, I got it.
The other is Jared Goff. Now I know I'm going to this is going to be a preemptive strike because they also, when they went head to head, Jared Goff beat Patrick Mahomes in head to head. I know, preemptive strike. I know what you're going to say. Well, that was week 1. I mean, a crazy interception off of Kadarius Toney's hands. How can you hold him accountable? Wait. That's the same thing that just happened in that game. Happened just last weekend.
Good point.
So you got to put the Lions ahead of the Chiefs in the tiers.
I mean, listen, you make some decent points. Your blind reveals could use some work.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was called.
It's fine. You're fine. And I'd push back stronger, but 90 minutes ago, Stink was just opining in the green room about how he's repping 405 on the bench press these days. So I'm just going to let him have his kid. You know what? Good takes, Stink. Good takes. Go ahead.
All right, Nick, the titles of the tiers, the storyline, the theme, fantastic.
Thanks.
The actual order of the teams, as Stink just showed, terrible.
Terrible.
How in the world? What is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Philadelphia is on the 7th tier. Is this another ploy to get me to change my Super Bowl pick? It has to be, right?
Just honest.
This is the last option. Chris,
Bruce
change. This is it. This is your last chance. Because, Nick, let me just give you some facts, all right? They're below Miami. Miami against winning teams with winning records. Because, see, I don't just go by, they waxed Carolina. They waxed the Jets. They waxed the Patriots. I'm looking at good wins, quality wins against real tough competition. And Miami against winning teams, 0-3. They're ahead of Philadelphia. Dallas against winning teams, 1-3. Detroit, 1-1. The Rams 2-5 against teams with winning record. And everybody's darling, apparently, Tampa Bay. They about to beat Philly in the playoffs? Really? They're 0-6 against teams with winning records. And Philadelphia is 4-2 against such teams. There's no way they should be that low.
Thank you. That's a solid take.
There's nothing to say about it.
Listen, it was very well done. It was passionate. It had a lot of good information. It unfortunately, of course, had nothing that's happened in the last month, and that's when that's when the relationship went south with the Eagles. I mean, the
old times were good.
Brew, she lit your clothes on fire in the alley, and you're just like, but we used to, have a good time. That happened once. Go ahead, next, go ahead. Go ahead.
Save that for the podcast. I want to move the Browns up. I'm not quite sure where. And Stink, I don't know if you were here 2 weeks ago when I coined the phrase defense wins championships. It's starting to catch on. So here's the defensive stats, yards per game. Fewest yards per game allowed in the last 15 years. The 09 Jets went to the AFC Championship game. There's the Browns. We don't know what they're going to do, or at least win one playoff game. And then the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl and lost. Then it's like, well, what's the issue? You got Joe Flacco. Like, yeah. Say you should, fix the way you say this. Say, we got Joe Flacco. All of a sudden, Joe Flacco's throwing for 300 yards. He's got 2.3 touchdowns a game. I don't know how he gets to the 0.3. Gets very close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
And then some big throws as well. And then you like this one too. One of the reasons we all like Mahomes, me especially, I'm beloved in Kansas City. The playoffs started today. How many quarterback wins, which everybody loves and knows is a real stat, does Mahomes' competition have? He has 11 wins. 11. Lamar's got 1, Tua's got 0, Trevor's got half.
Trevor's got 1.
He's got half.
He's got 1. He has 1. Keep going. And
Trevor's got half, Browning's got 0, Gardner Minshew has 0.
Yeah. How many does Flacco have?
10.
10? How many post-advent of iPhone? I mean, give me a break. I have the Browns up about as high as they're going to get with Joe Flacco playing quarterback.
Yeah,
give me a break.
Playoff
now, if they had Baker, they'd be cooking. Let's be honest.
Baker's got 1 win, and you talk about it all the time.
No, you're right.
Baker's 1 win is like the 08 Celtics won championship.
Yeah,
it's like, man, we get a lot of mileage out of this.
But you're now talking about the Russell Celtics with Flacco. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.